We still got about a minute and a half counting down on the halftime clock. And in case you are just joining us, well, first off, what's the matter? Why weren't you here for the start of the game? Well, no, we're glad to have you with us, in all honesty. You did miss a pretty good halftime show with the Pilots and the Aces Pride Marching Band entertaining the crowds. And here our halftime score. It's the visiting Ayersville Pilots leading the Aces by 14, 20-6. Our halftime score. Now the Aces will receive and have the ball to start the third quarter. But their woes continue, as it has just really been a rough start to the season for Hicksville, Brian. Coming into this game 0-4 and hoping to be able to bounce back and get back on the winning track. And the Pilots, after having to take a week off because they had to forfeit, they didn't have enough personnel to be able to put together a full team to play Edgerton last week. The Pilots, I hate to say it, but it looks like they took advantage of the week off, and they seem to be in really good shape, rested and relaxed. And they've been kind of taking it to the Aces here tonight. The Aces have had their opportunities. They've had a couple of first and goals from inside the 10-yard line. Both of them, they wound up losing yardage and turning the ball over. They recovered a fumble, took it away from the Pilots, not able to make anything happen because of that. So they've just had a lot of missed opportunities here tonight. And hopefully they've been able to make some adjustments in the halftime locker room, and they'll come out here ready to play. Like I said, 14 points. It's 2 scores. And that's a lot, but at the same time, it is not by any means insurmountable. So the Aces are not out of this game yet. So Baird and Langham, the 2 men back deep for the Aces to receive to get quarter number 3 underway. Pilots ready to kick it off. Their kicker, number 30, Bradley Young. Young, short hopper, and it's going to be scooped up by Baird. Baird trying to find an opening. Baird heading to the sideline. Nothing much there. He'll get across the 35, and they'll bring him down about the 36, 37-yard line. We'll see where they mark him officially, and that's where the Aces will get started, 1st and 10, to get this third quarter underway. Looks like it's going to be the 36-yard line. So that's where the Aces will set up shop here for half and number 2, 1st and 10. Aaron Klima, the quarterback. He's got Rodriguez and Bergman split backs beside him, and Rodriguez will get the carry. Spinning ahead, still on his feet. That'll be close to a first down. He should have picked it up. Gabe Rodriguez looks like he got about 11 yards on the carry. So Rodriguez, 11 yards on the first carry from scrimmage. Out to the 47-yard line, moved the chains. First down, Aces. Haven't been saying that a lot tonight, so feels good. Klima again working the shotgun split back set behind him. This time, ball goes once again to Rodriguez, and he'll dive forward across midfield down to the 49-yard line. A pickup of about 4 or 5 yards. That'll be 4 officially, as it'll be 2nd and 6 now for the Aces. Klima, 2 receivers out on the near side towards us, 1 on the far side, other side of the field, split backs behind him again. They're going to keep it on the ground again. And Rodriguez this time going to run into a world of trouble, and they'll drop him for a loss. As this time the Pilots were expecting it, they closed the gap quickly, and they dropped Rodriguez back close to the original line of scrimmage to make it 3rd and 9. Aces need to get to about the 43-yard line to move the chains. And that's not going to do it. That'll advance the ball down to about the 46-yard line, where it'll be 4th down for Hicksville. And 4th down, and it looks to be about 4 yards to go. At the 47, they need to get to the 43 to move the chains. Under 10 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Aces show they're going to go for it. They're down 14. Need to get some points on the scoreboard here. Klima high snap, ball in the air, and that's going to be, and there should be a flag. He short hopped it, bared the intended receiver, but it was at 42, I believe. Hayden Dales from Ayersville wrapped up Baird and just kept right on going. Baird hadn't even caught the ball. The play was blown dead, and he just kept on trucking him back and puts him down on the turf. Flag is thrown. The officials having a bit of a conference, and it's going to be a personal foul against the Pilots. Now, what's going to happen here, and I don't want to upset you Aces fans, is that it happened after the play was blown dead. And it was a 4th down play. So the Aces still turn it over on downs. However, the foul will back the Pilots up. So it will be Ayersville's ball, 1st and 10, but all the way back at their own 31.5-yard line as a result of the penalty. So the Aces do not pick up the 1st down, but they do back up the Pilots a little bit. Trevino hands off to Berner. Berner, half 50-yard line, Berner, and they're going to get him around the shoulder pads and get him out of bounds right around the 31-yard line. So Berner says, penalty? What penalty? And he lopes down into Aces territory with a hefty gain. I got that about 37 yards he picked up. So Trevino and company, again picking up right where they left off. Running towards the outside, stiff arm, and they manage to get him, and they bring him down at the 30. So Trevino might have got maybe half a yard or so, but it'll be essentially 2nd and 10. No gain for the Pilots on that play. Clock will continue to roll as we near 9 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Trevino lines him up. Berner the back beside him. It'll be a handoff to Berner. Berner puts it into his breadbasket and heads towards the sideline. Berner shakes off a few Aces tackles, and he'll lope on down near the 10-yard line before they finally bring him to a halt. We'll see where they mark it officially. I think it's going to be about the 12. Maybe the 11. Nope, they're going to say the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 Pilots. Aces spread defense. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper for Trevino. He's going to power forward. The Aces are trying to stop him, and they finally do. Looks like it'll be at about the 4-yard line. Well, see here, they're saying the 2-yard line, which would be really close to a 1st down and goal, because they had a 1st and 10 at the 12. But the down indicator has got it at about 3 yards to go, so I would say it's right around the 5-yard line. The 4 is what I said. I thought it was at the 4. Trevino hands it off. Burner into the end zone. Touchdown. So once again, Trevino to Owen Burner. Burner powers it in from 4 yards out. Touchdown Ayersville, and that'll make it 26-6 and move the Aces deficit to 20. PAT pending. Again, in the second half, if the opposing team gets if any team gets a margin of 30 points or greater, we get the running clock instituted. And it looks like the Pilots are going to go for 2 here to make it 28-6. A little over the top, and that's good. Oh, man, that was too easy. So the 2-point conversion succeeds, and it makes it 28-6 as the Pilots go up by 22 here at Aces Field in the third quarter. 7 minutes, 31 seconds left to go in quarter number 3. And we'll get ready for another Pilots kickoff, and the Aces going back on offense shortly here on HIX-TV. This will be our last live stream of the week, by the way. We don't have anything on tap for either Saturday or Sunday, though Sunday, I guess, technically is the start of next week. Our next sports broadcast live stream here on HIX-TV is coming up next week on Tuesday, as we've got, I believe, a triple header of girls volleyball action, freshman, JV, and varsity, starting at 4:30 in the afternoon, with the Aces hosting, I believe it's the Paulding Panthers. And we're going to travel down to Paulding 1 week from today for week number 6 football action. And down at, what do they call where Panthers hang out? Like the Panther Lair, or the Panther Den? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go to Paulding. Any good restaurants down in Paulding we can grab a bite to eat before the game? You know, Brian? We'll have to find out. 7 minutes, 31 seconds. Pilots kicking it off to the Aces. Here we go. Back at the about the 19-yard line. Baird with some running room. Baird just a couple men to beat. They finally corral him, and they'll drag him down at about the 39-yard line of the Pilots. What a great return. Kyler Baird getting it done. Boy, they've missed him last week for sure against Wayne Trace. Glad to have him back out on the field tonight. They're actually going to put the ball at the 38-yard line, so give him 1 more yard than I gave him credit for. 1st and 10 Aces. So thanks to Baird, Hicksville in good field position, hopefully able to cut into that 22-point deficit here. Klima gets the snap. Hand off to Bergman. Bergman off to the races. Gets across the 35 down to the 34. Bergman a gain of about 5. Jackson gets up. Says, I'm okay. They're going to say 2nd and 6 now for the Aces. Bergman gets the snap this time, hands the ball. I think that was Langham that got the carry. Nope, that was Klima. So they switched roles, and Klima gets the carry. Not much there, as Aaron will pick up a couple to make it 3rd and 4. They'll put Steffel and Langham out wide on the far side. Sentel, the back on the near side towards us. High snap, hand off to Bergman. Oh, they got him around the ankles, and they'll bring him down shy of the 1st down. Jackson only got about a yard. Good play by the Pilots as they got him right right around the ankles and brought him down after only a yard positive gain. 4th down coming up for the Aces. So far, I don't think the Aces have managed to convert on any of the 4th downs they've had so far tonight, or if they have, they've only gotten one. So maybe they're due. 5:34 and the clock rolling here in the 3rd quarter. Rodriguez, Bergman. The back. Klima dropping back to throw. Klima in some trouble. Klima looking for some space. Klima gets the ball in the air. It's tipped and incomplete. Good coverage by the Pilots and incomplete on 4th down. The Aces will turn it over on downs to the Pilots. And Ayersville will take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. So the clock will stop temporarily. 5:12 left in the 3rd quarter. 22-point lead for the Pilots. They get the ball back, leading 28-6. And we'll see if they can put another nail in the coffin here for the Aces tonight. Trevino, quick handoff. Burner breaks free. Burner still on his feet. Burner across the 45-yard line to the 47. Maybe the 48. We'll see where they're going to place him down officially. That's going to be the 48-yard line. 1st down, Pilots. They'll stop the clock long enough to move the chains, and they'll fire it back up again. So Trevino gets them all set once again. A couple wide receivers, one out on either side. He'll throw to the far side. It's caught. And ahead into Aces territory down to about the 44-yard line. And that will be Hayden Dales making the grab. You'll have to forgive me if I'm a little slow on the receivers because they haven't really utilized them a lot here tonight. The Pilots have been primarily sticking with Iden and Burner and Myler. So starting to widen it out a little bit. Trevino keeps it himself. Trevino still on his feet. Trevino just a couple guys to beat. Trevino heading towards the end zone. Touchdown, Pilots. So Jacob Trevino goes in from about 40 yards out into the end zone to make it 34-6, 28-point lead. And if a successful 2-point conversion happens here, then the running clock will kick in for the Aces. So we'll see what they want to do here. Switching their personnel around. Looks like they're going to go for 2 again. Quick handoff, and it's a reverse. Ball in the air. Did he catch it? They're saying no. So a little bit of a trick play to try to pull off the 2-point conversion. It fails. So the Aces still hanging on by the skin of their teeth, avoid the running clock. But they still go down by 28 to the Pilots here, 34-6 with 4 minutes to go in our 3rd quarter. So Aces will get ready to get the ball back. The Pilots will kick it off to Hicksville here shortly. 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and of course the entire 4th quarter still to come for the Aces to try to overcome this 28-point deficit. I'll get ready to tee the ball up. So here we go. Young kicks the ball, and on the return, that's Baird. Baird out to about the 45-yard line, and that's where the Aces will set up shop, 1st and 10. So they're going to say Baird actually got across the 45 to the 46. So that'll be the Aces 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line, or their own 46-yard line. As I'll pause here to wet my whistle a little bit, just a soda pop. Hit the spot. So here come the Aces. They're down by 28. 3:55 to go here in the third quarter. Aces trailing 34-6 to the Ayersville Pilots. Klima with the snap, dropping back to throw. Looking downfield, ball in the air. It's going to overthrow everybody. I'm not sure whether it was Steffel or Sentel, the intended receiver. Both of them were sort of curving towards the ball, but it was way overthrown for either of them to attempt to catch. So incomplete, 2nd and 10 for the Aces. Klima with the snap and a quick handoff, and Bergman's not going anywhere. Bergman might have made it to the 42-yard line, so it'll be a tackle for a loss. And it'll bring up 3rd and long for the Aces. They'll say Bergman all the way back to the 41-yard line, it looks like. Well, 42. Okay, we'll give him 42. 3.5 minutes, clock rolling, and it's a 3rd and 14 now for Hicksville. Trying to shake off the bugaboos here and get something going offensively on this Friday night. Klima again dropping back. A little bit of trouble looking downfield, launches it, and again it's going to be underthrown for Bergman and incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. And they're shifting personnel around. I think that the Aces are going to just try to punt it and get it as deep into Ayersville Pilot territory as they can here and try to hold them. The Aces have not been too successful in getting defensive stops against the Pilots here tonight. They'll put a couple men back deep at around the 30-yard line. Bergman will drop back to punt. And it's way over his head. Oh, my goodness, this could be a lot of trouble. Bergman's going to have to fall on it. It's back like at the 10-yard line. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Just when you think things couldn't turn any worse for the Aces, wow. A bad snap on a punt attempt puts the Aces, well, they turn it over on downs to the Pilots with a 1st and goal, basically, at the 10-yard line. 2:59. And like I said, the Pilots could really put a nail in the coffin with a score here. Berner gets the carry. Berner heading towards daylight. Berner diving in. Touchdown. So Berner in the end zone once again on a 10-yard carry. That'll make it a 34-point advantage for the Pilots, 40-6, PAT pending. And that should institute the running clock against the Aces, starting with the next series. And as we have unfortunately seen for the last 2 weeks in a row, the running clock makes it even more difficult to get back in. Down, kick is up. That one looked good. And it is. 40, 7 times 5, 5 times 7. You know what I mean. It's a 35-point deficit for the Aces, 41-6. 2:52 left to go in the third quarter as the Pilots continue to dominate here tonight. Aces High School. Haven't done a football game down in Paulding for a long time. I think the last time I actually called a football game down at Paulding was back in my radio days. So that's real ancient history when dinosaurs ruled the world. Nah, just a Jurassic Park fan. So anyhow, here we go. Back to the matter at hand. Enough foolishness from Brian and I. Let's get back to some football. Pilots getting ready to kick it off to the Aces. It's another low liner. It's going to be a roller scooped up by Baird. Baird looking for some help. Turns the corner out to the 36-yard line, and he'll get run out of bounds. They might give him the 37. We'll see. They'll stop the clock. No, they won't. Okay. I thought they stopped the clock long enough for the possession change, but they're going to keep it rolling. Well, like I said, I'm knowledgeable, but I'm far from an expert. I'm not that guy that they call up, from New York to discuss things on the football broadcasts on Saturday and Sunday. Okay. They get the proper personnel out onto the field with 1:40, clock rolling. And here we go. Snap to Klima, quick handoff. Nope, I don't think it's Klima. I think they pulled him. And it's Owen Stuckey in the game now at quarterback for the Aces. Nothing doing there. As they lose a couple yards, maybe 4. I don't know, 3, 4. Looks like about a 3-yard loss for the Aces. Back to the 32-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 12. Again, some of the younger players coming out here for the Aces late in the game. And a fumble on the play, and the Pilots dive on it, and it'll be Ayersville's ball, I believe. Wait for the official indication.
It looked like Hicksville had it at the end.
Well, we'll see what they do. Braxton Heisler, Stuckey and Heisler, looks like they had a hard time with the handoff. And I guess maybe at the last minute, one of the Aces were able to grab that football loose on the turf and maintain possession. It's a big loss, where it'll be third, and it looks to be about 3rd and 22 or 23. 3rd and 22. Man in motion for Stuckey. Quick handoff. That's to number 3, Bronson Graber. And Graber is not able to make anything happen either, and he's going to get dropped for even bigger, for another loss. And that'll be the end of the third quarter, thank goodness. So we've played 3, and at the end of the third, it's the Ayersville Pilots leading the homestanding Aces 41-6. Our third quarter score. Fourth quarter action coming up shortly as the Aces will be facing a 4th and forever and probably bringing Jackson Bergman out to punt it away, as it'll be deep in their own end of the field. Well, as we get ready for the fourth quarter tonight, I do want to take some time to say a big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. 11 years now in a row that the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships have lent us their underwriting support, making it possible for us to bring you Aces sports action throughout the entire school year. Football and volleyball in the fall, basketball, boys and girls in the spring, or in the winter, I guess. We try to throw in some junior high and some wrestling and some track and whatever as best we can. And it's all made possible thanks to the generous underwriting support of Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, course, you can find him online at jimschmidtauto.com. That's a live ball. He falls on it back at the 45-yard line, maybe the 44. The Pilots will retain possession, and it'll be Ayersville's ball, 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. As we get ready to get into this fourth quarter, 10 seconds burned off on that opening play. But again, we do want to thank Jim Schmidt so very much, especially, like I said, but next week he really helps out an awful lot. His underwriting support really is appreciated when we need to go on the road and do some traveling to bring you Aces coverage on the road for football. And when we travel for like basketball and volleyball tournament and so forth, can't thank them enough. Remember, anytime you see Aces Sports on Hicksville Community Television, they're the ones that help make it possible. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships right here in Hicksville, Ohio. All right. Quick snap. Quarterback keeper straight up the pipe and near first down yardage. I think we have a new quarterback for the Pilots. And that is Lucas Fishpaw. He's only a sophomore, so getting a little varsity playing time here tonight. So Fishpaw, your new quarterback in for the Ayersville Pilots. Again, we've got the running clock in effect. It will not stop except for a timeout or a score or an injury. Fishpaw, handoff to number 22. That's Talon Turpinning. So Turpinning picks up about, well, he'll make it 3rd and 3. And again, you'll have to forgive us if we're a little slow with some of the names and numbers here now that they've brought in the younger players to finish out the game on both sides of the ball. Fishpaw will work out of the shotgun. Shift a few players around. There's the snap. Quick handoff. And that'll be good for a first down. That'll move the chains for the Pilots. So they'll move it to the 45-yard line. Fishpaw rolling out, ball in the air, it's caught. Nice move, and I guess he stepped on the sideline. That was number 10, Ethan Power. Power will get him a few more yards, make it 2nd and about 7. Nine minutes to go here, clock continuing to roll. The Pilots take their time as they have no need to rush. The clock is on their side. Every second that ticks by is 1 second that the Pilots have towards their victory and 1 second that the Aces cannot use to try to come back in this game. Fishpaw puts a man in motion. Another handoff to number 10, Power. Power still on his feet. Gets back to about the original line of scrimmage. So, there we go. Had my microphone blank out on me for a second there. Not sure exactly why. Well, that's all right. So it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Pilots here with 8 minutes to go. Fishpaw rolling out. Gets the ball in the air. He's got a man open and off his hand and incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Pilots. Power was the intended receiver. He bounced it off of his outstretched palm and was not able to haul it in. So incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down and 7 for the Pilots, and looks like they may be willing to punt it away here. It looks like Caden Steffel, the deep man, back for the Aces. Yeah, we'll see if they are going to punt it or not. They have punted it a couple times. Yeah, they just don't drop back very far for their punts. Steffel's going to let it bounce in front of him. He's just going to let it go, and the Pilots are going to let it roll way down to about the 5-yard line. So we'll switch personnel. The clock will stop with 7 minutes exactly to go here in quarter number 4 while the offenses and the defenses switch on the field. And when we get back into action, it'll be the Aces with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 5-yard line. 95 yards away from putting more points on the board and trailing right now by 35, 41-6. The score. Aces will work out of the shotgun. Quick handoff. They'll try to run it to get themselves a little breathing space. Not much there, maybe a yard or two. So Graber carried the ball, number 3, and Graber picks up a couple to make it 2nd and 8. Aces need to get out to the 15-yard line to move the chains, so they're 7 away. Stuckey, again a handoff, heading up the middle and met and driven backward after little or no gain. I'll bring up 3rd down and 8. I think it was Graber with the carry once again. Clock continuing to run. We're at 5:35 and counting. Long snap to Snooki. Stuckey back. Puts the ball in the air. Caught. Tries to make something happen. Close to 1st down yardage. I think it's going to move the chains. Steffel makes the grab, and he gets out to about the 16-yard line. So it'll be an Aces 1st down. They'll move the chains and get a fresh set of downs here with 5 minutes left to go in this game. Trailing 41-6. Ace is not about to give up here. Stuckey in at quarterback. He'll drop back. Looking around, he's going to hang on to the ball himself. He'll move forward. He'll get back close to the line of scrimmage. So it'll make it 2nd and 10, so give Stuckey credit. At least he got back to the line of scrimmage and didn't lose any yardage. Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Aces. Stuckey, ball in the air, and it's picked off. And that's going to be 6 points for the Pilots. Number 44. I think it was 44. I don't have him on my roster. I have a 45 and a 42. I think it might have been, I don't know. Or was it 14? 14 is Jace Barnett, who's just a freshman. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell. Didn't get a good enough look at the jersey. I apologize. Kick is up. Kick is good. That'll make it 48-6 as the Pilots go up by 42 with 4 minutes exactly left in the game. And the Aces will get ready to get the ball back. Get back on offense. But I think it's fair to say we know how this game is going to turn out. But they're going to play it out. That's the way Hicksville does football. They don't give up, ever. But it is going to be a tough one to swallow here, and as the Aces will drop to 0-5. Held winless so far this football season, so we'll start looking ahead to next Friday and a trip down to Pantherland to take on the Paulding Panthers, and hopefully finally put one in the win column for the Aces in this football season. So Hicksville will get ready to get the ball back. So here we go. Get ready for the kick. And it'll be a low roller scooped up. And whistles blow. I think that was Graber that wound up with the ball, and I think they said that his knee touched, so they blew it dead at that point. Again, this is one of those games where nobody wants anybody to get hurt here. This game has already been decided. We're going to play it out. We're going to play for pride. But again, we don't want anybody getting hurt. Anything along those lines. We get the younger players out there to get them some varsity playing time and experience. Number 15, Owen Stuckey at quarterback. He'll come on out. Maybe not. Let's see how they're. Yeah, I think that's who he's staying in at quarterback. They try an end around, not much there, and they're going to lose a couple yards. Quarterback keeper for Stuckey, and not much there at all. They'll lose a couple, and it'll make it 2nd and 12. So we'll have 3 minutes exactly left in the game here. So a 2nd and 12 for the Aces. The ball at their own 24-yard line now. Handoff, and out. That'll be another 4-yard loss back to the 20. As the Aces running game has just not been there tonight. They've had a few flashes of really good football, and they've had some good plays, but by and large, it's, well, they've just been a little bit, they've fallen just a little bit short this evening. Clock continues to roll down close to 2 minutes now. Stuckey looking to get something going here offensively. Let's go, guys. Stuckey rolling out. Ball in the air. It's caught. A 20-yard line, and he'll be tackled right about there to bring up 4th down and 16. No gain on the play. Clock will continue to roll, and the Aces are going to need to punt it away. Here comes Bergman. As they'll get down close to maybe a little over a minute by the time they finally get this ball in the air. Down to just about 90 seconds right now. And the Aces are in no hurry either. Like I said, this game is over. They're going through and finishing it up. Their heads held high, but again, they don't want anybody getting hurt. It's just not worth it in a game like this. So they'll move the play clock down as far as they can. Long snap. Bergman gets the ball in the air. It'll come down. It'll be fair caught right at the 50-yard line by the Pilots. So 1:06 left to go. And that'll just mean one or two snaps on the Ayersville side of the ball, and this one will be over. They're going to put the ball officially at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10 Pilots. And again, Lucas Fishpaw, wearing number 1, will come out to handle the quarterbacking chores. They'll start the clock, and we'll see what the Pilots want to do here. We go under a minute in this football game. Fishpaw gets the snap, keeps it himself. He'll run forward. They'll bring him down at about the 50-yard line. And we'll see. They may need to take one more snap. I'm not sure what the difference. It'll be mighty close between the game clock and the play clock. So we'll see whether that was the last play or if they're going to snap the football one more time. Fishpaw gets some words of wisdom from Coach Chris Dales on the other sideline. They'll break huddle. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's all over. So they didn't need to take another snap of the football. All zeros on the clock, and this one is officially over. Another long night for the Aces as they host the Pilots, and Ayersville comes to town and waylays the Aces. A 42-point victory, 48-6, the final score. And with the loss, the Aces fall to 0-5 on the season and 0-2 in the Green Meadows Conference. So we're not going to dwell on it. We're going to wrap it up here tonight. Hey, we do want to say a big thank you once again to the Hicksville Athletic Department, Mr. Hott and Overmeyer, giving us the space here in the press box and allowing us permission to live stream the coverage for you here on Hicksville Community Television. We also want to say a big thank you once again to our football broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Most of all, thanks to all of you for joining us. I know it wasn't the best outcome for Aces fans, but I do hope that you have enjoyed the coverage here on Hicksville Community Television. So with that, we're going to wrap things up. Hey, our next football broadcast comes your way 1 week from tonight. Brian and I are making the trip down to Paulding. It'll be the Panthers hosting the Aces for week number 6 action. We'll have live stream coverage for you right here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel starting at 7 p.m. next Friday night. Our next sports live stream coming your way next Tuesday. It'll be volleyball action, freshman, JV, and varsity as the Aces will host the Paulding Lady Panthers at the Red Zone at Hicksville High School. So until we talk to you next time, one last time tonight, your final score. It's the Aces losing to the Pilots. Pilots win tonight 48-6, the final score. For Brian Williams, running the iPad Pro camera tonight, I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, wishing you a good night and good sports.